Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm going to show you a Windows alternative called React OS. So I've tried to use this OS on my physical computer here and it did not work out very well. These computers are old and all that, and they're not the best quality. So anyway, I'm going to try it virtually. So to get started, I'm going to boot that machine up. I'm going to do a fresh install here. Kind of looks like Windows, doesn't it? This is still in the beta phase, but it's basically a Windows alternative, sort of, as I like to say, because it's not, there's no final release of it. Okay, so I'm in the US right now, and so I'm going to do the United States. So you have enter to install or upgrade, you have press R to repair, just like Windows you can repair it, to view the terms and conditions, F3 just like Windows is to quit. So in this case I'm going to push enter, and as I said, it's an alpha stage and the features are not complete, meaning that basically certain features will not work. So it's not really, oh, you can use this right now. No, I don't recommend you do that. So anyway, enter. The computer, it's not going to give accurate information because I am running it on a virtual machine. The keyboard is right. In the English USA, because that's where I'm at. So on this one you have press up or down just like the Windows 2000/XP, and so press enter, which is the exact same. P to primary partition, E extended, L to create logical, and D to delete partition. Extended. What that does is basically you can take two hard drives and make them one partition, or you can make a partition bigger or smaller, same type of thing. The first one is called spanning, but anyway, so I'm going to push enter. Now this is interesting. You have FAT format, which is file allocation table. Same thing that's used for Windows 95 to on up to XP. So what I am going to do is, in this case, I'll most likely use that because I'm virtually. Now, if I was going to install this on a main system and use it, I would do the BTRFS. Now, I'm not too familiar with that. But I'll have to look that up. But anyway, that is basically the Linux version of NTFS. So what I'm going to do for the sake of this video, and just for testing, I'm going to use file allocation. So I'm going to do that. You won't get this with Windows. Just like that screen right there. Now that looks exactly like Windows, except these. Now you have something called a Linux kernel, which is like the System32 folder in Windows. It's the main programming. And my graphics card driver keeps wigging out. And you can see the memory is going down because it's using it. So I'm going to do yes. There we go. So this kind of looks like the Windows XP. So here's what you have on this particular menu. You have React OS, which is on Windows XP would be Start Windows normally. You have React OS Debug, which is like safe mode. You have React RSDBG, I don't know what that is, at screen. Log file would be the minimal. RAM disk, which is certain, I can't recall what that is exactly offhand. You have emergency management services, which is like a recovery. And you have unknown operating system, which is like your different OS and all that. But since I don't have any other stuff on here, and I'm doing a video on React OS, we're going to push enter. It kind of looks like Windows XP, doesn't it? Now, if you look here, it looked exactly like the Windows XP. That looks like Windows XP, doesn't it? It's got plug and play. Looks very familiar, doesn't it? Looks exactly like Windows XP. Now here's the thing that this does that Windows XP will not allow you to do during the setup. It'll allow you to choose a theme during the setup. Windows XP will not do that. I'm just going to do typical settings. And just like Windows XP, it'll tell you to remove the CD. Now this is really, really cool. And unfortunately, it's still in the alpha stages. Now, if whenever it gets finished, you like the feel of XP, but you want something newer, but you want something alternative to Windows, I would use this. Okay, so we're gonna, now that in Windows, when something like that shows up, that means you didn't shut down the computer properly. All right, so we are in. And it's seeing everything that I have on here, so you know what? Do I have internet? I should have access. We'll do Alt-N. Okay, that's fine. Let's see what we got. Administrative tools, games. It's called Wine Mine, but it is Minesweeper. That's exactly what it is. I should have a web browser on here. This is interesting. Paint and WordPad. Just like Windows. Now, go into my computer. There we go. Now, I'm not seeing a web browser. But remember, this is Linux. Wow, look at all this. This is amazing. And these are all the stuff you can get. WinMerge. Okay. Fortunately, I can't show that on this channel, but I would do that. So let's... So you can get a web browser. This is so much like Windows, I think I'm working in Windows, and I'm not, so I'm going to do that. Internet. Podcast Easy, Putty, which is a command prompt. Samba, which is a Linux. It's a text-based Linux thing, and what you could do is basically it's text-based is what it is. WinGecko. And I can install a bunch of games. Ah, Opera. There we go. So it has Wine Internet Explorer. You know what the funny thing about that is? Wine emulates Windows products. So look at that. It's reading Windows. Okay? Which means that this has the capability of downloading and running Windows applications, hence the name Wine. Give it a little bit. So let's do, we'll go to Google. We'll do CC Cleaner. CCleaner. Even though I do have it. Right there. Okay, so we're going to do this. And it is going to run a bit slow because I'm on a virtual machine. So it does work. So I'm going to reboot the virtual machine. Reset. And reset. And just like Windows XP, it's going through its checks. And there we go. And just like Windows, whoops, I was on the real machine, not the virtual one. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Well, it is working. It's just that VirtualBox is not cooperating with me right now. But anyway, it does work. And when I was trying to download Opera, it was the Windows version, which means this will actually run Windows software. So anyway, that's it for this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe.